Today is a special day.
What special day is today?
You're here
We are
again?
still here. All these people in the morning, so noisy, so noisy. I could not even check my chopper properly.
Really?
Huh.
You can take time later. But listen. Today is a special day for many reasons. Let's mention first one. We'll start slowly. We heard that it's Chaitya Guru Prabhu's birthday. And he was just singing this beautiful kirtan of Srila Prabhupada's, with Srila Prabhupada's melody. And he said, I don't know any other melodies. And we said, this is perfect for today. So
Yeah, he sings that melodies in many, many years. I know him. We were together on Sankirtan. Haribol. He distributed many books. I washed his lotus feet.
that's special. Definitely worshipable. Thank you, Chaitya Guru Prabhu. So today is auspicious day of... What is happening today?
But I'm asking you, you going all the marketplaces, know all the people?
I know I am confused. Yesterday we said this, we had this sign, welcome to Navadvipa. I don't know if you saw, I was full of impressions. When we came through the door, there was beautiful rangoli on the ground. Did you see that? And Lakshita did amazing
Welcome
work.
to Navadvipa.
This is, and yes, without this we cannot continue. This is Sharada Tilaka's art poster, and Madhavi Kishori nicely decorated it. So now we feel like everything is sort of in place. So we want to continue our getting closer to Navadvipa Dham, or we are already there, right? That was the idea. We are already in Navadvipa Dham.
We are living in Navadvipa. These people are coming to Navadvipa Dham.
Yes, so they all arrived here to experience more nectar of Navadvipa Dham. And today we will go, you will take them through all the Navadvipa. Did you know that?
I will take, no, I didn't know.
Okay, maybe we'll ask Maharaj. Maybe that's safer, isn't it? Would you join?
Is that prasadam?
Yes. Yes. Oh, by the way, I hope you all honor these beautiful packets. This is a welcome into Navadvipa. Before you start the parikrama, everybody gets these muris. I think they were baked by Nandi Mukhi. And of course, loads of water I hope you have with you. And
Coconut water.
yes, that
Normally,
we'll have on the way.
Navadvipa parikam, coconut water.
Yes, it's going to be.
This is because when you sometimes get a little bit indigestion problem, you have this flat rice murli, very nice, no problem anymore.
So
Isn't it Nandi Mukhi?
Yes. Thank you for saving us. This is perfect. So we will go through all Navadvipa. Yesterday, we were really warming up, remember? With all this katha, we were speaking about so many beautiful things and narrations. And remember this, I couldn't get it out of my head, this kirtan there was in between. This was so nicely manifested. When we entered the Holy Name market, this was this Charlotte. She prepared such a nice meditation on the Holy Name with the choir. Oh, I really loved that. It was really special. So, and then drama. And now we're here starting our parikrama to Navadvipa Dham.
So you mean you warmed up now?
I think I am. I hope everybody else is. So, but before we start, we need to warm up more, I think. I think we need to ask Maharaj to help us get closer to Navadvipa Dham with singing a bhajan. Will we have a projector?
Everything, the magical light is here.
We need Madai Jivan if somebody to help with that. But until we set it up, Madam Nanda Prabhu also arrived. Take a seat. So we are working on the technical. I can say what's going to happen today. Maybe that's another way to start.
What happened today?
What will happen today? So we will start after Maharaj speaks about beloved Srila Prabhupada. We will start our meditation on all the 9 islands, or each of the 9 islands of Navadvipa Dham. So we have prepared many different dramatic readings and presentations and so on. And it's all a surprise. I think it's going to be a little improvised, but that's good, no?
You don't like it?
I think we have no choice. So there will be Navadvipa Parikrama. So please get ready for that. It will be very, very nectarian. and children came. Please enter. And children will be also part of this program.
I mean, children came. Akila Prabhu came. Haribo!
Arriba. Sorry. Children also.
Yeah. You should enter the kingdom of God with a pure heart like children, says the Bible. My Bengali mind read Bible.
I think we shouldn't forget that we wouldn't all be here if it wouldn't be for all these beautiful residents of this dham. Don't you agree with me?
Haribo!
Like if you see all these beautiful Suchitra Mataji always running around doing so much seva, Akila Prabhu always reminding us of Srila Prabhupada, and Govinda Prabhu and his brother Gorā Mohan Prabhu, Gopi Gita, amazing service, always running around and serving all the devotees. That's why you maybe don't see them here, because they're serving everybody. So I think that's a very important part.
Without Akila Prabhu, this dham would not exist anymore. No. He keep it up. Narahari Nandimukhi Suchita Mata Ki Jai. And Suchita always running, doing service. Akila always try to catch her. Where's she now? So what we do now, Bhajan? Is the technique ready?
Getting there. Almost ready. But maybe we could read the translation. Do we have translation on the...
Watch, want to say something? So then let us all come into the meditation of Navadvipa. We all be residents now of Navadvipa. Please go back in your mind 500 years ago and try to meditate that we are here in Navadvipa together with saintly persons and saintly sadhus. And we are very much carefully listening to what they tell us about entering the holy dham. His Holiness Krishna Kshetra Swami Maharaj ki jai. Sadhu Sangha Simhachalam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
This is a song from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, Arunodaya Kirtan, and it's, I guess we call it dutal. The rhythm is dutal. And it's describing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates getting up in the morning, Udilo Aruna pūraba-bhāge, as the sun is rising in the east. Then the dwija-man, the jewel of the twice-born, gorā, gets up and bhakata-samūha, together with his devotees, loiyā, sāthe, gelā, nagara-brāje, they go, he takes them and they go wandering, or they went in the villages, the nagara. And what are they doing? Tāthaī, tāthaī bhajalokol, gana-gana tāthaī janjara roll. If you want to impress your friends with knowledge of the actual name of what we usually call wampers, they're actually called janjas. Janja. Yeah. So you can impress your friends. Yeah, they go about tāthaī, tāthaī, playing the kol. This is actually a kol. It's called a kol because it goes in the kol, which is the lap. You play it sitting in the lap, so it's called a kol. And gana gana tāthaī janjara roll, preme dala dala shonara ango charane nupūraba-bhāge. Nupura means ankle bells, and preme dala dala, so shivering in prema, in love. His sonar anga, his golden body. This is the vision of Lord Chaitanya as he's going with his associates. And Okay, so they're doing kirtan and they're singing names of the Lord. Mukunda, Madhava, Yadava, Hari, Bolena Bolore Varana Bodhi, Miche, nida-baśe. Okay, now he starts preaching. Miche, nida-baśe, gelā divasa śarīra-sāje. He's calling out to the residents of Navadvipa who are still sleeping. And he's saying, wake up. You're wasting your time. Miche. At night, you're just sleeping, and divas, during the day, what are you doing? Śarīra-sāje. You're simply decorating your bodies. You're spending all day in front of the mirror. Amana durlabha mānava-deho pāya ki korā-bhāvana keha. You have such a rare form of life, a human body, mānava-deho. And ki korā, what are you doing? You're not getting the bhava of devotional service. Ebe na vajile yashoda sutta charame pūraba-bhāge lāje. You're simply losing. You're losing it because of not worshiping Yashoda Sutta, na bhajile Yashoda Sutta. So like this, the song goes on. Udita tapan hoila ashta dina Gitavali hoibe basta tabe kano aba alas ahoy nabhaja-ridoya-rāje. You're not nabhaja-ridoya-rāje. You're not worshiping the Lord, the King of the heart, ridoya-rāje. And then jivana anitya jana sāthe nana-vida vipadagar. This life, jivana, has so many dangers, vipada, nana-vida, different types. So what to do? Namashroy kori jotane tumi taka apana kaje. Make your work, kaj means work in Bengali. Nam ashroy kori, having taken shelter of the name, taka apan kaje. Keep to your work, whatever you do, but take shelter of the holy name. Jivera kalyana sadhana kam. Jogate ashi e madhurana. This madhurana, this sweet name of the Lord, is kalyana sadhana. This is the auspicious sadhana to practice for the jiva. Avidya timira tapan rupe hrit gagane viraje. This darkness of material existence, of ignorance, avidya timira tapan rupe, in the form which will burn that darkness away, hrid gagane viraje, it shines, that the holy name will shine in the sky, gagana, of your heart. Such a nice image. This, and finally, Krishna nama sudha koryabha judao bhaktivinoda pran nama bina kichu nahiko aro choda bhuvana maje. Bhaktivinoda Thakura gives his signature at the end of the song and says, I have taken, I, for one, have taken this song, this name, Krishna Nama, which is pure, Shuddha, or which is intoxicant, and I'm drinking it, and so Nama Bina, without the name, Kichu Nahiko Ara, what more is there in the 14 worlds? So like this, we can picture for ourselves, since we know now that we are in Navadvipa, we are with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What do you think? And together with Mahaprabhu, with Bhaktivinoda Thakura and Mahaprabhu, we can sing this song. So now we need the text of the song. It's a little bit small. I don't know if it can be made bigger. Udilo Aruna pūraba-bhāge dwija-man gorā amani jāge Udilo bhakata-samūha loiyā sāthe gelā nagara-brāje tāthaī bhajalako gana tāhe janjeraro prema dala sonara anga charane pūraba-bhāge mukunda madhava jadava hari bolena bolore vadana bori niche nida-baśe gelā rati divasa śarīra-sāje amanadulabha mānava-deho paya kikoro bhavana-keha evena bhajile jashoda-sutta charame porive-lāje udita tapana hoilo asta dinagelo boli hoire basta tabe kanoebe alasahor nabajaridoya-raje jivana anitya janasana tāthaī nanavida vipadava Namashaya kori jatane tumi taka apana kaje. Jivera kayana sharanaka jagate ashiye madurana. Jivera kayana sharanaka jagate ashiye madurana. Avidyatimira tapana rupe Ridgagane viraje. Krishna nama sudha koriya pan Judao bhakati vino pran. Nama vina kichu nahi goā chodha bhuvana maje. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Haribo, 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 Gorā Haribo. Shri Navadvipa ki jai, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura ki jai. Our theme of this mini retreat is what? Devotional creativity. Wow. So we have heard. Such is the rumor. So I want to say a few words before we proceed. Beginning with, on this theme, but beginning with a reflection on Srila Prabhupada, who I would say has given us, hold on, yeah, this is where I want to be. He's given us the example of devotional creativity. And he has encouraged all of us in this regard. And I think a very sort of simple way to remember this is something I wrote about in Vyasa Puja offering to Srila Prabhupada for Simhachalam, on behalf of Simhachalam, in 1999, 25 years ago. I wrote an offering to Srila Prabhupada in which my theme, I was focusing on one practice that Srila Prabhupada had whenever he would end a kirtan. He would chant what after some time we learned is called the prema dvani. Right? Now we all know what is prema dvani, right? Yes? Who doesn't know what is prema dvani? Okay. Prema dvani means literally it means love vibrations, but it refers to the remembrance we have of the devotees and the Lord and the places of the Lord. And the leader of the Prema Dvani lists all of these features, and we, the devotees, we all respond, Jai. We respond to the question word. I think it's meant to be a question word, ki. Or else it's a genitive, feminine, Hindi, I don't know. So we say, Jaya Om Vishnu. What do we say? Jaya Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtotarasata Shishimad, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So like that, we go through all of the acharyas. We do a very short version, as Prabhupada did, but sometimes you'll hear devotees do very long ones, with listing everyone and everywhere and everything. But the point is, Prabhupada would end with all glories to the assembled devotees. And how do we respond? All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Yes, we know the response. Actually, it's a special feature of ISKCON that during the Prema Dhvani, we're all with our heads on the floor. That's you will not see that anywhere except in ISKCON. Apparently, devotees just got the idea to do it, and Prabhupada sort of, yes, why not? And then it became tradition. So he says, all glories to the assembled devotees, and he says it not once, not twice, but 3 times. Because if you want to emphasize something, don't just say it once, don't say it twice, say it 3 times. And what is he saying? Well, he's giving the English version of Samaveta Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai. Yeah. But he's making it not just Jaya, but Sarva Jaya. All glories. All glories to the assembled devotees. And by doing this, there's 3, as I see it, 3 messages that he was giving by saying this to us who were and are and will be hardly something to say all glories about, but he would say all glories. First of all, giving his blessings. Giving his blessings that his followers could become glorious simply by continuing to engage in devotional service. And so by that he's saying, you are glorious because however awkwardly, however imperfectly, however, whatever the shortcomings are, you are all glorious because you are sincerely serving the Supreme Lord. A second message which I derived from his saying all glories to the assembled devotees is encouraging us to make progress. Fanning the flame. When there's a small flame and you want a big fire, you fan the flame, you give some fuel, and some air has to be there as well. And you fan, but you fan in a nice way, not to blow it out, but to encourage it to increase. And so we could say he is also recognizing that we were and are making progress just by virtue of continuing the practice. So all glories to the assembled progressing devotees. And a third message that I find in this is that he is teaching us. What is he teaching us? Well, he's teaching us to recognize that all devotees, in whatever position we may be, are glorious. So it's for us to recognize, to acknowledge, to appreciate. It's about appreciating devotees. That's all. So all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. And then devotees would offer obeisance to Srila Prabhupada, recognizing that he is the one who is making us glorious. And a final point in this regard is what I see in Srila Prabhupada, his firm conviction that this is the case. The devotees are glorious. He was not simply humoring us. You know this expression, making us feel good, flattering us or whatever. But he actually had this conviction. And I believe that this is a conviction that we need to cherish as to be valued in all the situations of our lives as time goes on. In other words, we all experience things change in the course of our lives. So many things, everything, everything changes. And with the changes, it's very easy for the clouds of uncertainty to come over us. So what we, I believe, do well to remember is Srila Prabhupada's faith in us. The acharyas, the teachers of Krishna consciousness, they all have faith in us. And because they have faith in us, it gives us impetus to accept the mercy that they're giving us, and thus to be empowered to engage in wonderful devotional service. I always, I like to remember, and in remembering, I feel the pain of his absence of the late Kadamba Swami Maharaj. This was a kind of ongoing theme for him. In particular, he saw this as a key message of Chaitanya Charitamrita. How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was empowering his followers to engage in devotional service and to do wonderful things. And we see that again and again and again. If you read letters of Srila Prabhupada, how he was encouraging his devotees and thus empowering, many times beyond, you could say, capacity. He was always thinking, we say in English, sort of crude English, he was thinking big. He was expecting us also to think big. And as you all may know, there was a certain word which Srila Prabhupada did not like, which he considered not to be found in the dictionary of those who are wise. What was that word? Impossible. What did he say? Impossible is a word in whose dictionary? Fool. Or in Bengal, they would probably say pool. And I think this is also where the notion of creativity comes in a relevant way. That we are challenged for ourselves, personally, individually, in our own lives, and for the mission of Krishna consciousness to think, how can we stretch ourselves? And just stretching ourselves, we need to be creative. Because the tendency will be there to say, oh, that's my limit. This is my limit. I cannot do more than this. There's a word for that other than impossible. It's called apathy. Apathy's mantra is, I can't do it. And behind that is, I won't do it. There's resistance. If we had more time, I would suggest we have a little discussion on the notion of inspiration. Well, maybe we can take it for a couple of minutes. When we think about creativity, we often hear the word inspiration, inspire. Inspire, what is inspire? It's breathing in, inspiration, right? And expiration, well, the word expire, at least in English, is sometimes used. It's a kind of polite expression for someone when someone has died. We say, oh, such and such has expired. It's also a word you use when your driver's license is no longer valid. It expires, or whatever. But spire, I don't know the Latin, but it's certainly something to do with spirit. And I think we're all eager to be inspired. We would like to always feel inspired. And we sometimes ask ourselves, what can I do to feel inspired? And we have some vague ideas. But I want to ask if anyone would like to respond, what in particular is one feature of Srila Prabhupada that particularly inspires you? We all have some inspiration from Srila Prabhupada. Is there something particular about his character, about, yes, Krishna? Caring.
Recording in progress.
He used to always care for his devotees and his disciples. Ramananda Gopal. Compassion, because without it you would not be here. Would any of us be here without? Yes, Atmanivedana. Dedication to the most important thing, the most important truth, or person. Okay, yes. Yes, Ramana. Rai-ram. His boldness in speaking the truth. No compromise, okay. Yes, Leela. His creative broad-mindedness in expressing, in spreading Krishna consciousness. Yes, very good. Akila. Yes, thank you for reminding us. Yes. He would say, all glories to some devotees 3 times, and then he would say, thank you very much. Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. By direct example, his integrity in preaching. Yes. Very nice. Thank you. One time, Sacinandana Swami Maharaj made a list which was he called the Inspiration List. Would you like to hear some of this? No? Uh-oh, what happened? Okay. Pray for the connection. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, should I say something? Am I audible?
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Haribol. Am I audible? Can you hear?
Uh-oh. Well, at least we have some. Whoops, it's
Hare Krishna, can you hear anything?
Yes, now we start to hear.
Now you start to hear. That is very good. Some connection seems to happen. Was I now audible, if I may ask?
Yes, it's a little soft. We're trying to amplify it and get rid of the echo.
I will try again to say something so as to see if the connection is working now. I hope it will work, but I need a signal from your side to see if it works.
That was really all the power? Not all the power. This is still on.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, the power went out. Just a second, the whole power electricity went out in the temple room. We are fixing now. If you can wait just a little bit more, and we will make it workable. Thank you.
Then I'm Udaya Chandika. Then I would suggest that let Maharaj continue his lecture in the temple room. And once the connection is, I will stay here. And once the connection works, then you can let me know and then I will speak. Yes?
Yes, we're getting now through a mobile phone and a microphone. So I think this can work. Yes. Let's try now. All right. No, he's not
Yes,
hearing.
here I see you, Maharaj, on the on the video. Well, my contribution should be useful for your program. So please decide whether or not your technical crew has got it together, and if they have gotten it together, it is, I will say something. But if it's too difficult and too interrupted, then I don't know. We have to. I could, for instance, phone you, and the phone.
I think it will work now.
It will work now. Good. Hare Krishna. So first of all, please accept my humble obeisances, Krishna Kshetra Maharaj, and please accept my humble obeisances, all of you devotees who are in the temple room. We are very happy to be able to address you. And we are, of course, at the moment here in Golokadam. Oh, wow, so many of you are there. Wonderful. Hare Krishna. Thank you, thank you. Let me see with my glasses. Yes, wow. That is very, very nice to see so many devotees. So I guess I can just continue. Is this correct, Maharaj?
Yes, please.
Good. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatyade Satarine. My dear Maharaj and my dear devotees, I feel honored that you call upon me in such an important and also personal gathering. We celebrate your 10 years in this sannyas ashram, and I've prepared a few things to say. I would like to first of all bring into your memory and relate to all of the devotees who are there, how we met initially. I remember this very distinctly. It was in our Heidelberg temple, and I was just cleaning the temple floor with I had a bucket and a cloth, and I was on my knees and wanted to wipe away all the dust. And then you came into the temple room. And in my memory, I saw you immediately as a very intelligent person, and the fact that you had come to such a small temple, which was not centrally located, which was a very humble beginning, showed me that you were interested in Krishna consciousness. Perhaps you had made your initial contact with the devotees in our small temple in Stuttgart, but that is in Heidelberg. I saw you for the first time, and I remember at that time there was a book I had heard about from one of my friends who is outside of the movement. It's a professor, and you know him, Martin Mitwede. It was the book called The Zen of Repairing a Motorcycle. In this book, a Buddhist practitioner was describing how one can see the Buddhist philosophy in everything, including repairing a motorcycle. And because you were at that time not dressed like a devotee, I thought I should speak in a way that is relatable to newcomers to Krishna consciousness. And I decided to translate the basic tenet of the book, The Zen of Repairing a Motorcycle, to Krishna consciousness. And I began to explain to you that when we are when we are cleaning a temple, we can be fully Krishna conscious by focusing our mind on Krishna, and in this way, this ordinary activity of cleaning a room would become a yoga activity, activity which would raise us in higher consciousness, in Krishna consciousness. That was in my mind. So I was very enthusiastic, and I began to explain, see here, I'm wiping the floor and I'm thinking of Krishna, and this is a yoga activity now. And I think you told me later that you were impressed to see my enthusiasm. I must have also said things like, if you clean the temple, you clean your heart. The Prabhupada had said this, and I explained all this. My attempt was really to mirror this book that had gained some appreciation amongst intellectual circles, that by doing an ordinary activity, you can be in an extraordinary consciousness and bring your life to this level. This is how I met you. Now, being the person who I am, I always observed you, and I don't think you noticed it, because I try to hide when I observe someone. And the first thing I noticed is, and that was very sympathetic to me, that you wanted to really study Krishna consciousness, and you went very deep into the worship of Krishna. You became a pujari, but you library and look at the books. And there were many books which we would call at that time extra curriculum books, not Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, but books of various types. There was one book which contained an article of the American writer Stephen King. It described what would happen when the devil comes to the planet Earth. and there was a wide range of subjects which caught your curiosity. And I thought, oh, he is so similar to me. He does not want to block out subject matters, but he wants to include it. Then I noticed that when you were singing kirtans and bhajans, you were really singing them in a very special style. It had a few musical elements in it. For instance, the jazz element, which I recognized. And I thought again, now here's someone who does not want to do spiritual bypassing, that is, ignore a large part of his culture background in the name of spirituality, and later have a lot of difficulties, because that which you don't look at and what you don't purify, it will stay with you. So I noticed that, of course. But I noticed also whenever I try to speak about these subjects, you were in your own mind set, and you wouldn't talk about it. And I tried to drill and in our discussions, but you were not talking about it so publicly. Then I noticed you were doing a retreat on play and Krishna consciousness. And I was, of course, curious, why this? What is the idea? And I tried to find it out in a discussion with you, but you would not enter this discussion. But I didn't stop observing, of course. And I saw, yes, creativity is very important to you. You have encouraged your disciples to make articles in books where they reflect about the Bhagavatam. One book was called Gorā, and so on and so forth. And I always saw you deeply reflect about things, and you want us to reflect about these subjects, and you want to also push us into the realm of creativity, because you feel in the creativity realm we are in a space where we have to go beyond our limit and do something beyond that limit. In Switzerland, you announced your seminar. If you never think that you would like to act, perhaps that's the reason why you should act in a drama, because it will help you to widen your scope and so on. So in my investigations and observations and looking closely, I found out two things. You yourself believe in the authentic path of Krishna consciousness. That means your particular path where you are expressing your devotion in your way to Krishna. And you want others to find their authentic path in Krishna consciousness. And you use tools like creative writing, that were in Switzerland acting, because your purpose is clear. You want those who you are in contact with or come in contact with to find their path, because perhaps you have seen that if we imitate the path of someone else, nothing good will come out of it. And there are, let us say, two verses in the Bhagavad Gita which say just that. These verses are repeated almost verbatim. We all know there is the Paribhasita Sutra, that is the key verse of the Bhagavad Gita, which is repeated twice. Manmana bhava mat bhakto majāji mang namaskuru. That is repeated twice because it's an essential message of Krishna. Bhakti is performed by thinking of Krishna, by serving him, by worshipping him, and by offering our obeisances to him. This is a central theme. But there is another central theme of the Bhagavad Gita. And because it's so central, this verse which expresses this theme is also repeated twice. One time we find this verse in the Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, 35. And the second time it's in 1847. This verse is about Swadharma, one's own dharma. Swa means one's own, and dharma, we all know dharma. I think we could also say one's own path, one's own purpose, one's own prescribed duties that comes with our birth, like this. So the verse says, Shreyan svadharmo viguna paradharmat svanushthitat svadharme nidhanam shreya paradharmo bhayavaha. The translation reads, it is far better to discharge one's own dharma. I leave it, the Sanskrit word. It's far better to discharge one's own dharma, even though faultily, than do another's dharma perfectly. Destruction, even destruction in the course of performing one's own dharma is better than engaging in another's dharma, for to follow another's path or dharma is dangerous. Yes, if we do not find our own personal expression in bhakti, and this is our Krishna Kshetra Maharaj's, one of his central messages to his audience, that could be dangerous. If you follow and if you imitate another's path, that could be dangerous. So authenticity, following your own dharma or prescribed duty or purpose and so on is very important. To not do it is, yeah, there are perils, dangers involved. Now the same two lines are appearing in 847, and I will read you the first line of the verse, and then this time another reason is given why it's important to follow one's authentic path. Shreyan swadharmo viguna paradharmat svanushthitat. This is identical with the verse from the 3rd chapter. It says it's far better to engage in one's own dharma or occupation, even though imperfectly or faultily, than to accept another's dharma. That's ideal. Why this is so, a second reason is given. Svabhava niyatang karma kurvang napnoti kilbisham. Dharma according to one's nature, are never affected by sinful reactions. In other words, if we do follow our authentic path, and there may be difficulties, just for the fact of being in our dharma, being situated in our dharma, there is no reaction to bad reaction to whatever we do in our own dharma. Even if there are mistakes happening, they are not affected by the normal law of karma. So this is what I have seen from the very beginning in your spiritual life, up to the last time I met you in Switzerland, that when you were coming and our contact started, you were very interested in this point of doing your ordinary things, even in relationship to Krishna, even if it's wiping a floor. Yes, and then I saw you singing, so in your own style, reading, then studying. At that time, when you went on your path to study, it was not easy. You were one of the first devotees in our ISKCON movement who studied outside, and at that time our movement was perhaps a little bit closed, perhaps. So it was, you needed to do it all alone. I remember I heard that when you went to the first university, perhaps the Berkeley University, you stayed in a camper on some parking place, and it was a lonely path in the beginning. Nowadays, one is glorious if he takes the academic path. It is a very reputed, very well-recognized path in our movement. But at that time, it was a pioneer path. But it was your path, and therefore you followed it nicely and became very successful. Don't know if any one of you knows Krishna Kshetra Maharaj's very excellent lectures, and also his Bhagavad Gita summary is printed in Chinese by the Chinese government, who are a little hesitant to print and endorse spiritual culture. You want your those you come in contact with, and your disciples, friends, well-wishers, and the many people you meet in the outreach programs, which you do in the university or the various preaching programs, to make them think. You want that they think, so that they find their own Dharma. I will close now. I'm personally very, very honored and happy to be connected with you and be called by you your friend. And I feel the same. That is, in this world we need like-minded people. I know we are not in all areas like-minded, but when it comes to finding one's authentic path, we are very like-minded. And I wish you all the best. I wish you many years amongst us, where you can continue with your own creativity, your own inner wealth of Krishna consciousness, and share this with you. And I wish you a good wind from behind, that your boat is always moving forward over the ocean of samsara, the boat of the wind of Krishna's mercy. And I wish you the mercy of Srila Prabhupada also to always guide your intellect and your various inclinations in that direction of our Lord Sri Krishna. And that is all I want to say, because I don't want to take the time. It would be much better for me to be present with all of you at Simhachalam, but I'm very sorry. We have this big festival here, and therefore I had agreed to come to this festival first, so I had to keep it. But maybe soon there are UFOs, and then one can travel very fastly. May I just ask you a question, Krishna Kshetra Maharaj? I can't hear you. Perhaps you are muted. Yes, you need to unmute. Yes, now. I'm just so curious. There is one devotee resting in a hanging mat. Is it Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or and what is behind that image, which is, I believe, next to you? Yes, there it is. Can you please tell me, because Krishna, who's also with me, and we are dying from curiosity. I'm sorry, you're still muted. Is he muted or unmuted? Still muted. You're still muted, so I cannot hear any sound. Yes, now.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Very well, very well.
Okay, good. Yes, this This painting is one of several that we have decorating the temple now in the same style, done by Kaveri Devi-Dasi, who is living in Boston. And she has kindly prepared these for this event. So the one you were seeing, it looks like, I know I thought the same in the beginning, that, oh, Lord Chaitanya is sleeping in a hammock. But then I realized, no, it's Lord Chaitanya being taken by by a fisherman out of the ocean after he has been diving into the ocean in his state of complete devotional madness. So here he is being taken out of the sea. He's in this state of, apparent unconsciousness, but actually he is in the deepest consciousness of Krishna. So, but thank you, Maharaj, so much for your kind words. I just want to say how indebted I am to you. You spoke of the floor washing at Rohrbacher Strasse 31. And I also have vivid memory of this. For me, what struck me was not just your enthusiasm in floor washing, but it seemed like you were really having fun. You were having fun washing Krishna's floor. And I thought, wow, I have to learn this mood. So I'm still learning. You're always my teacher. You are my spiritual big brother, even if materially a bit younger. And you mentioned that you made investigation of me. That got me a little bit scared. There's no privacy in this world. But I wanted to take this opportunity to also thank you for giving me the shelter of the sannyas ashram 10 years ago, from a couple of days from now. And but that was a kind of formality, I know, and it's the substance that's behind it. And as you've nicely explained, it's about finding our swadharma and pursuing the swadharma. And of course, you have been giving that example so nicely to so many devotees all over the world. So devotees present, what do you say? Okay. So, okay.
It's got a wave going.
Yes, no, I can see everyone. I can see you very well, and and please do take when we were talking, and when I shared how I observed in Krishna Kshetra Maharaj this search for his authentic path, and then pursuing it with so much devotion and so much connection to Prabhupada's mission and Krishna consciousness. I thought this is something you can see and then follow in your own path, in your own Krishna consciousness. After all, we become connected with a person whose example inspires us, whose teachings inspire us. And this is a very pronounced thing. Yes, I'm observing as good as I can. I'm very faulty, of course, but I'm observing as a friend. A friend wants to understand the other friend. Mm, not to, it is not, when we hear someone observes us, we are scared because often we are not sure what are the motivations of this.
No, I knew your motivations are good. I was just
Okay. Yes, yes. So I found this very, very important glowing example, and how you are wanting others to follow that as well. And yes, and I can only encourage all of us to do this. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Um, mm, then I guess I would love to be with you and continue to talk, but you have a program there, and may this program go on really nicely with all of you. And then I guess I will sign off because the festival is here going on. So thank you very much. Here's also God Krishna who wants to greet
Hare
you.
Krishna, Maharaj.
I'm always joking. I'm in the Go Krishna Bhajan band. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada. So I know we're running a little late from our schedule, but I want to take a couple of minutes. What's happening? Maybe we can turn this off now. Now it won't turn off. It's a monster. Okay. Shall we put on more light again? Okay. Hare Krishna. So was that nice thing to have Sacinandana Maharaj up here? So I now have a request. Oh, who is groaning? Somebody's groaning. What? He wants something from us? So we're on this theme of creativity, and we're, as Sacinandana Maharaj put it so nicely, in terms of the Gita, in terms of Svadharma, in terms of finding ourselves, expressing ourselves. And there's an expression, there's an expression used in writing called finding your voice. Finding your voice. So, as some of you know already, but maybe not all of you, I'm just making a general invitation. As you know, some of us, as Maharaj mentioned, we've been encouraging devotees to write reflections. And we've had reflections on first canto Bhagavatam, that's published. We have reflections on second canto Bhagavatam, that's published. Which canto comes after second canto? 1, 2, 3. That's brilliant. So third canto is coming up, and you're invited to write for the third canto reflections. Now, I have a suggestion how to do this. Do you want to hear my suggestion? Yes. No? Yes. No? Yeah. Okay. Make a team, yourself and one other person, maybe two other persons, and make a plan to meet either in person or online sometime in the next week, and chalk out a plan of how you are together going to inspire each other and maybe churn ideas together for writing something based on something from the third canto Bhagavatam. Some of you are looking at me like, huh? So the idea is you could write something together so that it's two of you writing one piece, but you can also write your own piece and share with each other drafts. You know what a draft is? A draft is a first try, and then maybe a second try, and share and read back and forth and discuss and suggest improvements for the other, for your friend, and be ready to rewrite, and maybe even more than once rewrite. Good writers, some good writers, they rewrite several times before they're happy with what they've done. Now, I happen to know that there's a lot of potential in this room of writing your realizations, which Srila Prabhupada wanted us to do. I know because I've read, and I'm very inspired by what I see and what I've read. One suggestion, which is just an idea, is to, as you're reading, and of course, this is all just a big trick to get you to read third canto Bhagavatam. When was the last time you read third canto Bhagavatam? So one suggestion is make some connection between something in the third canto and something in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now again, devotees are going, But again, keep in mind, you're not only parroting what's already there, what we can read ourselves. You are bringing yourself into what you are writing, one way or another. That doesn't mean every sentence should start with I. I read this, and then I thought this, and I felt like this, and then I thought, and then I read, and then I thought, and then I felt, I. No, that's not the idea. What do you think? Some are going, not me, count me out. Well, we can't force anyone, can we? But it's an invitation, and we have a, I don't like the word, but it has a certain meaning. We have a deadline. The deadline is Christmas this year. That's basically 4 months, 12 weeks. That's a lot of time to write less than 1,200 words. Maximum 1,200. That's maximum, not minimum. Maximum. Minimum is a haiku verse. But if it's haiku, it better be good haiku. Haiku has, what is it, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, again 5 syllables, something like that. There's, yeah. And of course, there's so many genres you can choose from. So now you may be thinking, and I understand, you want me to write in English? No way. It's not my language. My language is Swahili. No, you can write in your own language, but please find someone who can then translate it into nice English. Because we want to make a book, as we've done before. We are going to be somewhat selective, which is simply to encourage you to write well. So we may not include all that devotees write into the book, but what should be the main purpose of writing? Perfecting? Reflecting. Yes, reflecting. Whoops. Reflecting on what we've read, and what else? Akila Prabhu? To give inspiration. What else? Okay, what else? Yes, Ramananda. To read third canto, yes. What else? Ooh. To expand the Bhagavatam, okay, yes. Govidita. To be creative, okay, yes. Yes, Atman. Okay, yes. It's yes to all that you said, and there's something more, yes. Okay, very good. Resonance, yes. Anastasia. To collaborate with each other, yes. And Ramananda? Okay. And Rajan. To meditate upon with the Lord. Okay, yes, Priyasaki. To extend the Krishna Katha. Yes, yes, Anandita Rama. Huh? To be authentic. Very good. And Ratna. For the benefit of others. Yes. and Mansuka. Make connection to the scripture, yes, and not the Vrindavan. To serve Krishna, yes, and to wake up our spiritual creativity, yes. What else? Yes, good. Savitri Sham. To follow Prabhupada's instructions, yes. Yes.
Something we said before, to go out of our apathy, saying I can't, and expand beyond the limits and go.
Yes, also. Yes, Beck. Tiefer einzusteigen, to go deeper, yes. Yes, I don't see who is there. Yes, Charlotte. To glorify the Bhagavatam, okay. We're getting a lot of reasons. We're not getting the one I'm thinking of. Yes. To have fun with us. Yes, why not? Yes, Martina. To have a goal and make regular seva. That's nice also. Thank you. Yes, Krishna. Madhavi Krishna. To write about Krishna, yes. Yes.
Find our writer's voice.
To find our writer's voice. Yes. And what kind of a voice is this? An inner voice which, through the process of writing, is purified. Self-purification. Ki Jai. As I remember, Srila Prabhupada said, write for your self-purification. Right, we've gone over the scheduled time for me to talk, so my apologies to all of you who are planning everything.
It's okay.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Ramananda, where are you? Come. I think we have to collect our thoughts. This was sort of a miracle. I don't know if you've noticed, but we have no connection to actually establishing a connection and having Sacinandana Swami in our retreat. And I'm sorry, Guru Maharaj, if we scared you with emergency call.
My dear devotees, Hare Krishna. So we coming now. You have something else. So get and say something else.
Sorry, I again jumped in. I think we need a stretching time. Well, we're thinking maybe we can all stand up for just a minute. And I don't know, Sitarani, would you like to lead us into a little stretching for 1 minute? You're a yogini.
Adipurusha stretching. You know? Everybody, arms in the air. Arms in the air. And shout out, Gauranga! Yes, that was Adipurusha.
I think we're ready. And we will enter the first island of Navadvipa with the first meditation. So this island is called Shimantadvipa, and it's the island which includes the process of Shravanam, or hearing. So we'll hear from Amrita Lahari, or somebody else maybe. Please come, devotees, quickly, quickly. Come inside. Sit down.
Oh, Lord Gauranga's devotee. So nice you're here. Have I ever told you how one of these times my husband fell into ecstasy? He was dancing madly and loudly chanting the name of Gauranga. But that time I was really tired with all these mantras and tantra, feeling it is just more entangling. But that name, it felt different. I was listening to him chanting, and I could really feel that my heart was melting, just by hearing. So I asked him, who is Gauranga? And he told me that Krishna himself will descend in the Kali Yuga, taking the emotions of Sri Radha, and he will be known by this name. Intoxicated with Kirtana, the Lord will distribute the jewel of Prema to everyone without discrimination. My husband told me that he is giving up his own city of Kashi, and he's going to live in a hut in Mayapur to worship the Golden Lord. So I came here too. I was meditating on the form of Lord Gauranga, and I was chanting his names. My heart was changing, and after some time, the Lord appeared before me. He had a molten gold complexion, long arms, beautiful hair, with long dhoti and a garland. He looked at me with such love and asked, "Oh Parvati, why have you come here?" I fell at his feet and couldn't really compose myself. I told him everything, what was bothering me so much, how he deceived me, giving me this most ungrateful service of binding the living entities in the material world. I have come here to do this service, being forced to always remain outside of his spiritual realm. Everyone knows that wherever there is Krishna, there is no Maya. I was so devastated, and so I asked him, how will I ever see your pastimes, O Lord of the universe? I knew that if he does not offer me a way, there is no other hope for me. And so I took the dust from his lotus feet, and I have put it on my simanta. The Lord was so merciful for me, being so comforting and encouraging. He assured me that I am actually never separate from him, that I am the expansion of Sri Radha herself, that without the role which I am now playing, his pastime couldn't go on. No, it is definitely not an easy or pleasant service to keep all these jivas covered by illusion. But it's all for my Lord. In Vrajadam, I serve him eternally as Purnamasi, and in Navadvipa, I am Prodhamaya, serving the Lord along with my husband, Kshetra Shiva, who is the guardian of the dam. I am also here in Simhachalam, meditating eternally on Gauranga, and as Rajpur temple is right here, I am nearby the Lord of the universe also. In his form of Jagannath, he is so merciful, he keeps me always close and blesses me profusely with his Mahaprasadam. This is all thanks to this other time when my husband was in ecstasy. Have I told you that? Narada Muni once cleverly tricked Lakshmi Devi and compelled her to give him Mahaprasadam from Lord Narayana's plate. Narada is always quite an ecstatic space boy, but wow, this time he could not control himself. He was running from planet to planet, chanting and dancing, and when he reached Kailash, my husband really wanted to know what made him so happy. When he heard about Lord Mahaprasadam, he immediately asked if Narada Muni has brought some to him, but he didn't. While apologizing with his hand folded and his head down, he noticed a morsel of prasadam under his fingernail. And then, so he put his finger straight to my husband's mouth. That must have been a funny picture. And at that time, my husband started to dance in ecstasy so intensely that it looked like the annihilation of the world, and it was really not the time yet. The whole universe actually started to shake, and then the demigods came to me, asking if I could pacify him. But, what could a wife do in such a situation? Well, I came to him and I asked him humbly what caused such ecstasy. When he told me that he received the Lord's Mahaprasadam, I immediately asked him if he had some for me. And he was just silent. Oh my, did I get furious? His dance was disturbing, but my anger was on a whole another level. The entire universe started to burn, actually. Demigods didn't know how to pacify me, so they went straight to the Lord. And he came personally, flying on his Garuda. I immediately offered him my obeisances, and he promised that from now on, he will always give me as much Mahaprasadam as I want. And if I could just subdue my anger. But then I felt actually that I wasn't fully satisfied with this blessing. Feeling this huge sorrow of being deprived of Lord's mercy, I really didn't want any of my children to feel the same way. So I asked him if he could arrange a way for all the living beings, even the dogs, to have his Mahaprasadam. And then he promised me that I will reside right next to him in Nilachaladam. There I received all his Mahaprasadam and share it profusely with everyone around. My husband, on the other hand, as a punishment for not sharing the Lord's mercy with me, resides outside of the courtyard. This place here is none other than Jagannath Puri. You know? The Lord of the universe appeared here because of the great love to his devotee who lived nearby and who couldn't go to Puri. Here I also happily honor whatever the Lord of the universe has tasted, and I love to share this mercy with others. What could be more satisfying for the heart than sharing the Lord's mercy? So please, absorb yourself in the mood of Simhachalam. Just immerse yourself in hearing and take and share as much prasadam as you can. Goranga!
Next time while we fast distribute everyone. Jāge.
So, what is next on our journey, Mangala? Where we go next? That was quite filling here on this island. Now, where do we go?
So the next island is Navadvipa. And we have a special surprise with our little ones or big ones, with our youngest ones, and they're waiting already very, very eagerly. So before they start, they will need a little time to prepare. We have a dialogue of two. You will see it's a surprise, but it's a dialogue to describe what's happening in Navadvipa. Kirtana into the video will show us what's happening here.
Hare Krishna. Navadvipa represents the devotional process of Kirtana. The Skanda Puran states that those excellent persons who live on this dweep are liberated from all sin and attain the supreme abode.
That's great news! I hope we can visit Navadvipa in February next year with our dear Maharaj and pray for liberation from our sins.
Actually, there is a story of Shukadeva Goswami that I find very sweet.
Oh, please tell us!
Did you know that in his previous life, Shukadeva Goswami was a special parrot, a personal messenger of Srimati Radharani? He would take messages from her to Krishna. And when the time came for Srimati Radharani to leave this world, she told Shuka to stay here. But Shuka didn't want to without Srimati Radharani. It was too painful for him. Then Shri Radha told him that whenever the transcendental pastimes of Krishna are told, he will not feel separation from her. So Shuka was looking for the places on this earth, the places where Krishna Katha was going on. And he reached Kailash, the place of Lord Shiva and Parvati. Shuka himself hid himself in the green tree and listened to Shiva reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Shiva was completely absorbed in reciting of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and Parvati was listening to him very carefully, saying, But then Shuka would make a sound, this very same sound, at the same time as Parvati did. Lord Shiva became curious and asked Parvati who was making the sounds. She said she didn't know. Lord Shiva continued with the recitation, and Shuka would make the same sound as Parvati. Parvati had fallen asleep, though. At the end of the recitation, Lord Shiva asked Parvati how she liked the narration, and Parvati begged for forgiveness for falling asleep. Lord Shiva then started wondering, but who was making the same sound as Parvati? And then Lord Shiva spotted the parrot and started thinking, this parrot is not qualified to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. And if an unqualified person hears the Srimad Bhagavatam, a lot of troubles can occur. So, Lord Shiva took his trident and he was after Shuka. Finally, Shuka reached the hermitage of Srila Vyasa.
Oh, I remember this. Here comes the fun. At this moment, Srila Vyasa was narrating Srimad Bhagavatam to his wife, Pitika, and she yawned while listening Srimad Bhagavatam. So Shuka, the parrot from previous, in great panic, entered Pitika's mouth.
Yes. Then Lord Shiva enters the scene and says, have you seen a green parrot?
He told Srila Vyasdeva all that had happened. Vyasdeva explained that the parrot became eternal after hearing the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, and he could not be killed. So the parrot Shuka stayed in Bitika's womb for 16 years and then took birth as the transcendental and famous Shukadeva Goswami, who later on narrated the Srimad Bhagavatam to Maharaj Parikshit.
Wow, what an inspirational story, don't you think?
Indeed, hearing about Krishna and his devotees is a real divine kirtan for our ears.
Hare Krishna, thank you for listening. Now the kids will do a small kirtan.
Krishna.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Do you want to say the names of the children, Charlotte? Or Alice?
Maybe we can the microphone.
Priya Radha, Radha,
Manohara.
Charu, Madhava, Murari, Nanda Kishore, Sati Sophia,
Annika.
Krish.
They prepared this in less than a day, so I think they deserve a big applause. Thank you so much. Thank you. You can stay inside of the temple room if you like, but maybe you go here to sit. We'll have the next island meditation. So we are leaving now Navadvipa. Are we leaving Navadvipa already? It was nice here. Yes, it's the heat, I think.
I think you all went to the Ganga for this.
Yes. But let's continue. They will join us later. I think they will catch up. So, we are slowly entering Navadvipa. And Navadvipa. We are entering Navadvipa. You will hear what happens. We don't know yet. We were now on the island Navadvipa, which was island of Kirtana, so glorifying the Lord. And now we're going to the island of Smaran.
Sravana Kirtanam Smaranam Vandanam Pada-sevanam Dasyale. Sravana Kirtanam Smaranam Vandanam Pada-sevanam Dasyale. My old aunt Dira is trying to make me Krishna conscious, and I agreed to go with her to this great place, Navadvipa. I've never been there. She wants to tell me a story that she learned a long time ago. It's gonna be so much fun. By the way, I'm really curious how this place got its name.
Oh, come on, Nimai. Leave the phone now. We are close now. It's just, I can't really remember the way. That's the problem. You know, Nimai, in Satya Yuga, long time ago, on this Mother Earth, people were so special that they didn't have to write or read. They remembered everything, and they remembered Krishna.
That is so cool! Can you imagine going to school and remembering everything that you need to know and no homework? That's insane.
Oh, Hare Krishna.
Microphone.
Hare Krishna. Oh, Nimai, I could swear I knew how to get there, but now I'm having a senior moment. I shouldn't have moved to London. I should have stayed here where I belong.
Don't worry, Auntie. I can help you with my phone. I'm gonna put Google Maps. No signal. So much for modern technology. When you need it the most, it doesn't work. Now, Auntie, you really need to remember where we're supposed to turn, to the left or to the right.
Really, you know what we can do now, Nimai? Only thing we can do. Let's just chant. And if Lord shows us the way, then we can go, okay? Okay, let's just chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I wonder where is Auntie? Huh?
Oh, Lord Garanga heard our prayers. Look over there.
Oh, Navadvipa. Finally, we came here, Nimai. We came here.
Let's sit down now, Auntie. I'm all ears and I really want to hear what happened here.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say that only by your grace we got to know where Navadvipa is and with his devotees as well. And you real blessings to your mama, Mangala Chandrika and Rupa Sanatan. And we couldn't have found it without your sharp eye. All right. So, what I'm about to tell you, I read in, actually I did read it, but not from the book. I just read it on the internet, that's to be honest. So I read in Bhaktivinoda Thakura book. It was Krishna Thakur told Srinivas. In that special time on Satya Yuga, long time ago, there were 7 very special saints. So I tell you their names. Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulaha, Kratu, Pulasta and Vasishta. They were sons of creator of this universe, Lord Brahma. As they would say in the book, grandsire, Lord Brahma. The sons talked with their father about Lord Chaitanya Gorā Hari, who would appear in this Kali Yuga where we live now.
Wow! They knew in such a yuga that Lord Chaitanya would appear in this Kali Yuga? So they could see the future?
Indeed.
Cool!
Yes, quite special that. They say that Gauranga Mahaprabhu would give a love for Krishna to everyone.
How did they do that? How did he do that?
Well, the saints said that Gauranga Mahaprabhu would sing bhajan and kirtan, the names of Krishna, and while singing, people who would hear it, they would get that love. That's called prema. You remember we talked about that before? He would give prema to everyone, even the dog eaters.
Dog eaters? Do people really eat dogs? That's a terrible thing to do.
Well, yeah, it is really, if you just think about it, my stomach turns inside out. But probably some people in the past did that because they were probably hungry, they didn't have food. But that's a terrible, I mean, now the dogs are human pets, I believe, around the world, isn't it? Okay. Well, let's continue. So the saints also said that those who have a love and affection for Navadvipa Dharma, which means also this Madhyadvipa, their offenses don't count any longer. Well, that's good. And they can become residents of Vraja, the holiest place on the earth. They were chanting the holy names of Gorā Hari and remembered his pastimes, his form, you know what this means, what he looked like, yeah? And his divine qualities.
They are amazing, these saints. But Auntie, how did this place get the name Navadvipa?
All right, we're going to get to that now. So I'm taking too long, don't I? So, while the saints were glorifying Gauranga Mahaprabhu, saying that the Lord will appear in the house of Jagannath Mishra to bless Kali Yuga, and that these pastimes are so wonderful that demigods, like Brahma, do not know about it, and that the Lord will be madly absorbed in Sankirtan Yagya, and so on and so on. Many beautiful sayings about Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Gorā Hari could not, when he heard that, Lord Gorā Hari could not control himself any longer and appeared in the front of 7 saints.
What?
Yes, the saints circumambulated the Lord, you know what that means, went around the Lord, yeah. And said, "O Lord, all of us have a great desire to see your pastimes in Nadia. Please bless us so that we will meditate upon Navadvipa constantly." And Lord Gorā Hari said, "All of your desires will be fulfilled. My Navadvipa pastimes are very confidential. If you keep this as a secret, I will be very happy." And then the sadhus said, the saints, they said, "O Lord, is it possible to hide the sun under the palm?" So to answer your question, Imai, Sorry, I have to eat. The Lord Chaitanya appeared during the midday, which is called Madhyana. Like the midday sun, this place is called Navadvipa.
Auntie, didn't you tell me that Navadvipa represents Smaranam, remembrance of Gorā Hari, and he remembers of Krishna? Oh, now I get it. 7 rishis remembering Gorā Hari, and he appeared to them. It makes perfect sense. Thank you, Auntie. This was one of the good outings with you. I'll have a lot to share when I go back to school.
Yes, that's cool. So all of your friends could know your adventures in India. Well, it was a pleasure to tell you what I remembered. There was much more happening here, but right now, I can't remember it.
So we should always remember Krishna and
never forget him. Oh, the phone.
Thank you so much for your time tonight. This was wonderful. So this text was written by Lalita and previous one also. And she wrote one more text, which you will hear later. I think we will have to make a shortcut and go first to Ritudvip. This is the island of Archanam. I hope Madhavi Kishore is here. Yes.
I have gone out of the box a little bit and I wrote something creative. Worship. What an interesting term. Worship, or archanam, is a beautiful meditation where the mind, body and soul are engaged in the personal service of the Lord. I am a tree today, grown from a tiny seed that was carried to this holy place of Ritudvip by my good fortune. Destiny brought me here. My parents, who were also trees of course, were rooted next to a mosque somewhere in Pakistan. There used to be music in the mosque and also some preaching. People used to walk into the mosque around 5 times a day and used to speak prayers. But my parents were too conditioned to understand who it was that they were praying to. No one described God or his features, and pictures of God were strictly prohibited. They said that they'd find it difficult to worship a God they couldn't even picture, literally, but they weren't very religiously inclined. Why am I telling you all of this? Because I want you to understand how lucky you all are that you are allowed to actually see and worship the Lord in his personal form. I don't know why, but I'm fortunate. Very, very fortunate that the wind carried me all the way here to Ritudvip, a place that is so beautiful that it reminded Sri Nityananda Prabhu of Sri Vrindavan Dham when he came to Ritudvip with Jiva Goswami. When I dropped down into the soil as a seed and I was a young tree, many times I heard the holy name of Krishna sung in Kirtan, accompanied by drums and kartals and many other instruments and different variations of melodies. That time I didn't know much about Krishna, but I did understand that fate brought me to a very auspicious place and that it is filled with miracles, and there is a reason for this place's beauties, greens and fertility. You need to hear what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura describes in his book, Sri Navadvipa Mahatmya. When Sri Nityananda Prabhu came to this place, he said, We have now come to Ritudvip. This place is extremely attractive. The trees are bending down their heads in respect. The breeze is blowing gently and the flowers are blooming everywhere. The humming of the bees and the fragrance of the flowers intoxicate the traveler's mind here. As he was saying this, Nityananda became like a madman and exclaimed, "Quickly, bring my horn! The cows have gone so far off and Krishna is fast asleep and won't come. He is acting like a baby. Where are Subal and Dama? All alone I cannot go and herd the cows, shouting, 'Kanai, Kanai!' Nityananda jumped a few yards. Seeing his state, the devotees immediately supplicated at Nityananda's feet, "O Prabhu Nityananda, your brother Gaura Chandra is no longer here. He has taken sannyas and gone to Nilachal." Upon hearing those words, Nityananda became dejected and fell to the ground, crying, "You have put us in such sorrow, Kanai, my brother. You have taken sannyas and left us to go to Nilachal. I will not continue my life. I will jump into the Yamuna river." Saying this, Sri Nityananda lost consciousness. Sensing Nityananda Prabhu's elevated state of spiritual emotion, they began to chant the holy name. After 2 hours had passed, Nityananda still did not rise. Finally, when the devotees began chanting the glories of Gauranga, Nitai awoke. "This is the place of Radhakund," he exclaimed. "Here, in the afternoon, Gaura Hari would perform kirtan with his associates. Look at the brilliance of Shyamakund, which attracts the minds of everyone in the universe. And look here and there are the Sakhi's groves." In the afternoon, Gauranga would become immersed in singing Krishna's glories and satisfy all by distributing prema. Now that in the 3 worlds there is no equal to this place where the devotees worship the Lord, whoever lives here will get that love of God, which will soothe the burning fire of material life. So this is what Bhaktivinoda Thakura wrote in his book. Now I'd like to say what I have heard. Ritu means season and Dvipa means island. Ritudvip is so the place where the 6 seasons reside in the person and where they are engaged in worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's the 6th island of Navadvipa and represents the Archanam aspect of Navavidha Bhakti. The 6 seasons are the rainy season, autumn, early winter, spring and summer. Here in Ritudvip, the 6 seasons sweetly meditate on the advent of the Lord, and it is said that whoever visits this holy place will become free from all kinds of suffering and will take birth in Nadia to witness the pastimes of the Lord. Thank you for listening. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Madhavi Kishori. So when we were first thinking of the retreat, we asked Guru Maharaj what should be the topic and what should we do, prepare, and he immediately said it would be nice to have devotees take on some character from Chaitanya Lila and then play out, and then the idea with Navadvipa came. So all this got merged, so all this that you see now are devotees' meditations on Maharaj's desire. Did you notice that we skipped an island? I'm wondering.
Make a shortcut.
Shortcuts. Yeah, we were running through, but we don't want to miss Ananda Vrindavan. Where are you? Are you here? Wonderful. We need to still visit Koladvip. This will be mysterious. So Koladvip is an island of Parasevanam. Yeah? So let's see what we will see here.
Hare Krishna, esteemed Maharaj, Vaishnavas. So, Koladvip is a place that represents Padasevanam, as Mangalachandra said, worshipping Krishna's lotus feet. And many events took place, significant events on this island, including, I'll just mention a few that I felt inspired to say something about because of the not enough time to mention all. First of all, it's a place of Dhameshwara Mahaprabhu's temple. Dhameshwara Mahaprabhu is a deity that was worshipped by Vishnu Priya, Srimati Vishnu Priya, Lord Chaitanya's wife. After he took sannyas, she started, Lord Chaitanya took sannyas when she was 16, and she worshipped this deity until she was 96. So for 80 years she worshipped this deity. And it's a special deity, very beautiful. He has his arms extended lovingly towards his devotees. And his shoes, apparently the shoes of Gauranga, are kept there, wooden shoes. And the pujaris, they allow us to see, and even sometimes they put on our heads. So it's a very, very special deity, very special place. Another very significant place is Samadhi Mandir and also Bhajan Kutir of Jagannath Babaji, one of our prominent acharyas. He's very special in our line. He was, I think it's called Rasika Acharya, also known as Rasika Vaishnava Acharya. And one special significance of Jagannath Babaji is that after Bhaktivinoda Thakura has discovered the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya in Navadvipa, in Sridham Mayapur, he invited Jagannath Babaji to that place. And at that time, he was very old and he was not able to walk. He had to be carried in a basket. So what happened when they approached the place in Yoga Pit, he confirmed that that was the place of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by jumping out of the basket and starting chanting Krishna's names and dancing wildly. So that was very, very special confirmation of discovery of Lord Chaitanya's original place, birth. What else? Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, Paramtala, Jagannath Babaji Maharaj. And also, that was a place where famous poet Jayadev wrote his book, Gita Govinda. So my friend and me, Harinamamrita, decided to play out one incident, one special pastime from the life of poet Jayadev. It's improvisation, so please bear with us. Okay, let's go. I'm trying to write this Gita Govinda. It's such a blessing from Krishna that he gave me to write this special work. But one line comes to my mind just now, and it's so confusing. Padmavati, my dear wife Padmavati, you know, Krishna is Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the same time, while writing, this line comes to my mind. It says, Krishna is subordinate to the love of his devotees, his most special devotees, the gopis, to such an extent that he even bows down his head to the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. Padmavati, isn't that a little bit too much? Krishna is Bhagavan. I don't know whether to write it, or am I just imagining this, or is it divine inspiration? I don't know what to do. What do you think, Padmavati?
My dear husband, I'm just a simple woman. I don't think I can help you with that. Sorry.
Okay, forget about it, Padmavati. I'll just go down to the Ganges to take my bath. I'll forget about this line. Okay,
I'll prepare some prasadam for you.
Thank you. Thank you. is this? My dear devotee Jayadev is reluctant to write down this line. And it's the highest of all truths that I am subordinate to the love of my gopis, especially of Srimati Radharani. And I bow down my head to her lotus feet. So what I'll do, I'll just help him write down this line. Krishna bows down his head to the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, his beloved gopi. Now I'll pretend I'm Jayadev. Padmavati, I'm back. Padmavati, I'm back. I'm hungry, I'm starving. I just prepared. So, here you go. Oh, thank you, my dear wife. Oh, what do we have here? Some kachuris, I see. Pakoras, samosas. Here, have some more. Thank you. Gulab jamuns. Oh my God. So delicious. Padmavati, you work so nicely. Thank you. Now I'm full. Oh. Thank you, Padmavati. You really pleased me with your wonderful service. Now, excuse me, I have some work outside. I'll be back quickly. I have something, okay? Again? Jayadev. Back home. Padmavati, I'm back.
But why are you so wet suddenly?
You know that I went to the Ganges to take my bath. Of course I'm hungry, I'm starving. Give me some food. But you just ate. I just ate? Come on, I'm hungry, you foolish woman. You just ate from this plate. I just fed you. That's strange. Padmavati? Why are my papers all in mess? What is this? Oh, Padmavati? Look at this. Look at this. Somebody wrote something down. Krishna is subordinate to the love of his devotees, gopis. And he bows down his head to the lotus feet of Shri Radhika. Krishna wrote this down. Krishna was here. Krishna was here.
Oh, how fortunate we are.
You're the most fortunate.
Krishna ate prasadam that I made.
Padmavati. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai! Srimati Radharani, exalted love of gopis ki jai! Hare Krishna. These are really improvisations.
I'm tired when it's prasada.
I think it's worthwhile to wait a little more for prasadam. First of all, because the prasadam will be very special. It's still a surprise. And because we still have to go to a few islands, I think. Because next one, I heard, Ramananda Gopal will lead us to Navadvipa. It's the island of Vandanam and Gopi Gita and some other devotees that will join them.
First we wait till our Lord is Baladakshmi Shri Bhagavan ki jai. Okay, so we come to Navadvipa, and when I first got that we represent Navadvipa, I thought, oh yes, Navadvipa. What happened there? But I found some very interesting instances what happened there, and we will actually witness how two very special devotees will come to Navadvipa. To Navadvipa, And since Madhavananda Prabhu in the morning class said also there should be different elements of theater, we quickly implemented also some kind of musical component. We don't know if we will make it to the dancing. It's not planned yet. But. And yeah, we're waiting still for some friends that everything is ready. Balaram, are we?
Yeah,
ready?
Just other things to take care of.
Technique is always.
Yeah. What about now?
I think previously people could hear better, or they didn't need. When they made drama in Navadvipa, Lord Gauranga, they didn't need amplifiers. I think they could better hear. Okay, where is Muni? Okay.
Where should I sit?
Yes, maybe come here. Okay. Okay, you're also ready. Okay. Let's go. Right into it.
What are we doing here, Holmes? Why have we come here in a land of many sacred domes?
Mr. Bhagirath gave us order to search for his daughter who floated here and disappeared.
A flowing daughter? That sounds rather weird.
She was known as Ganga, right here in the riverbed.
Or maybe she just woke up and left from that.
Whatever, my question is simple and sublime. Do we chase phantoms? Or is this a place of crime? And to blend in and don't create distress, we shaved our heads and took this beggar's dress.
Indeed we are on foreign ground. We turned on the main Navadvipa road, and evidence we found. Shortly before the turn-off to go to Mamgachi, this thing was the success of our hunt.
Oh, what a pleasant surprise! The evidence is here and jumped directly in our eyes.
What strange eating utensils. I will clean it up with my broom.
It is called an Achman cap, together with a spoon.
Now I am sure we will get clarity quite soon.
What we need now is some sort of witness of the scene.
Or some relatives who are part of that team. Who is that fellow over there? Strong in figure, with long hair and beard.
Let's find out for sure. He looks weird. Hello, gentlemen. That is Mr. Watson, and Sherlock Holmes is my name.
We are pleased to meet you, but our Bengali is quite lame.
There is an important reason why we came from the Empire so far. We solve riddles, sometimes chasing vampires, but tell us who you are. I am known as Bhishmadev, son of Ganga, whose liquid form was floating in this riverbed, but now disappeared, and that makes me rather sad.
Would you mind if we asked some questions? Some questions to be asked. For example, about this artifact we collected in our basket.
Oh, my dear sir, oh, my lord, this vessel with the spoon belonged to my grandfather, a saint of the highest sort. Once my grandfather Chanamuni was meditating by the river down below, when his Achman cup fell into the river flow. Angrily he swallowed that river in one single gulp away. Ganga was found guilty and she couldn't not stay. Ah! There we have the culprit of the crime, the biggest kidnapping of all time.
Let's arrest this criminal and put him in chains, no matter who he is or the king of all saints.
Slowly, Watson, with your touching words. Why he does not release her, I'm sure it hurts. It's the matter of fact that the saintly man went in deep meditation and got stuck there then. He kept in his inner vision God's most merciful form one can see, the beautiful, graceful, dancing incarnation of Hari. Not able to let go of that vision and sight, Janamuni is lost in prayer at the spot immersed in divine light. Listen up now, newcomers of Navadvipa, my friends, as I explain the glories of Navadvipa land. All praise to the merciful Lord Hari, who resided here through the process of devotion and Radha Krishna care. Long ago during Kurukshetra war there was no time for crying, when I was stuck down on arrows as I was there lying. My thoughts were surrendering and they were flying to the moonlight face of Krishna Chandra, who helped me dying. In that very crucial moment at the end of my life, the Lord cut all my attachments with the knowledge knife. Don't fear longer the demands of material senses and their need, for you will definitely attain the service of Lord Gauranga's lotus feet. Remember the darshan of Navadvipa that once you had, and soon your mind will be calm. Please give up all your attachments and desire. Worship Hari, for whom you inspire. It is the Lord's desire to let his devotees see and feel the pastimes of Krishna and Gorā, to be free and to heal the soul pain of fear and death and disease, and the hate to God is completely absent here, and your heart is filled with love, Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Pure devotees drink the wine of servitude of the Supreme. Immersed in an ocean of happiness, the holy name they scream. With perfected desires and bodies of spirit that they gained, forgetting the material miseries by the perfection of that they attained. Welcomed by the Lord's associates, limitless in number, eternally liberated or arising from their material slumber. With them the Lord performs pastimes fitting to their inner core. In that very forest of Navadvipa, they all ask for more. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. This abode is unlimited without any dull matter. The spiritual conscious goddess is in control for the better. You serve in her energy, you soon receive the freedom letter for those who came here, humble as a beggar. Everything and everyone according to the Lord's wish and desire. All things work harmoniously above the material forest fire. As long we don't give up this body of material senses, we can't enter this holy realm and stay out of their fences. When you receive your spiritual form according to the Lord's will, your advancement is unstoppable and ecstasy at the highest thrill. The veil of material illusion will retreat far away and will come, and you will attain unlimited bliss in this eternal spiritual realm. As long as you stick to this world of matter to enjoy, remain fixed to the principles of devotion, oh boy. Serve the divine couple, their devotees, by chanting holy names. Stay away and aloof of the temptation of sensory gains. By the mercy of that holy Dham, the devotees and the holy names, keep undesirable association far away and out of your frames. Very soon you will attain residence in that eternal abode. The divine couple will soon reveal your eternal love code. Very well then, but still Mr. Bhagirath is on the wait. I hope there is still life in Ganga and it's not too late.
Long time the river resides in this Janu Muni's belly. There is maybe still a chance that the water did not turn into jelly.
Since the process on this island is intense prayer, let us all turn to the Muni and ask him for a special favor. Oh, how different is the culture here! The Ganga's water is dripping out of the Janamuni's ear. Watch out, Watson, the river out of the Muni just reappear. Behold the mystic and the beauty of that holy land, revealing itself to the humble soul whose devotional creeper here is bland. Ganga will be known now also as Chanavi. Her water is very deep, and that holy island here will be known as Chanudvip. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. As Dr. Watson, Hari Bol. And grandfather Bhishma, Hari Bol. And we have Scarlett Holmes and Dr. Watson here, Munindra Gan and Subal Gopal, Hari Bol. And we have Johnny Balaram Cash on the guitar. Okay, thank you. That's it. Hari Bol.
Maybe second initiation.
I think we can agree that Ramananda Gopal Prabhu found his creative voice. That was really creative. Thank you so much. So we have next island we'll have a short visit through. It will be Krishna who will tell us about a pastime happening in Navadvipa, which is the island of becoming a friend, a servant to Krishna. That's it. You can sit down.
Take the mic.
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vandanam, Pada-sevana-dasyare.
This is Navadvipa, the place of seva. Here is the battle tree, 500 years old. I know it's small, but in actual life it's like really huge because it's 500 years old. Anyways, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to rest here, and when going home from school from Vidyanagar, one day the Lord noticed that the tree was dying, so he embraced it to give it a new life. Today, over 500 years later, although the tree is completely hollow inside, it is still growing in full bloom.
I found out that this famous place is the birthplace of Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur. Brother, do you know who he was?
Who? Me? Of course I do. Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur was a great Vaishnava Acharya and was the last initiated disciple of Lord Nityananda. And he wrote Chaitanya Bhagavata, the life and pastimes of Lord Chaitanya.
I didn't know that you are so clever, because sometimes you don't have clever ideas.
He took initiation when he was 16 years old, like I am now. Maybe I should aspire, Gurudev. He was the dearmost disciple of Lord Nityananda. This is also the ancestral home of Malini Devi, the wife of Srinivasa Pandit.
Did you know that here is Vasudeva Datta's house? He worshipped his beloved deity Madana Gopala with all of his money. He wasn't worried that he will be poor and his family. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very affectionate towards Vasudeva Datta. The Lord vowed in 3 separate occasions that he belonged to Vasudeva Datta.
I remember that Lord Chaitanya would say, I am only Vasudeva Datta's servant. My body is meant to please Vasudeva Datta, and he can sell me anywhere and everywhere.
This is such a beautiful place. Can we stay a bit longer so I can film the deities in the temple?
Yes, of course, but our parents are busy praying. I'm going to join the Kirtana group for a while, and anyways, I'm waiting for prasadam. It's been a long time.
Thank you so much. Krishna, these are brother and sister, if you didn't know. Thank you. So, the next island is a very interesting island. It's called Navadvipa. And the devotional process that's connected with this island is becoming a friend with the Lord. So we wanted to hear more about what it means to become a friend with the Lord, because it seems this is a very exalted process and it's not to be achieved by a beginner devotee. So we asked kindly Guru Maharaj to read a little passage together with Rupa Sanatan. So I have the printouts and they just kindly obliged. So I'm forever grateful. Maybe we could move the chairs. Oh, stand.
Yes. Right.
The spiritual healing power of Rudradvipa changed the heart of Durvasa Muni thus. He gave up his inclination for yoga and started to worship Gauranga's lotus feet. Several impersonalists like Anavakra and Dattatreya gave up their attempts to merge into Brahmajyoti and began to serve Gauranga's lotus feet. And even when Sankaracharya attempted to preach impersonalisms in Navadvipa, Lord Chaitanya appeared to him in a dream and told him to go somewhere else and not contaminate the inhabitants of Navadvipa. Thus, Sankaracharya, realizing Navadvipa's transcendental nature, left Rudradvipa with a heart full of devotion. Lord Nityananda spoke to Jiva Goswami about the instance when Lord Gaurasundar saw Vrindavan on the bank of the Ganga. He remembered Rasalila at this place and entered into the state of Mahabhava. When the devotees chanted the holy name directly into the ear of the Lord, he awoke from Mahabhava, loudly chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then Sri Sacinandana, along with his associates, went to the bank of the Bhagirathi Ganga, crossed it, and wandered around Rudradvipa, immersed in Nam Sankirtan. Also, it was from Rudradvipa that the Lord departed Mayapur to embrace the sannyas order and to spread his Sankirtan mission. And finally, and most importantly, Mayapur, the ISKCON headquarters, the center for spreading Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission all over the world, is just on the eastern side of the holy Rudradvipa. Gokumar's dialogue with the play director or stage manager, preparing the drama about the first impressions upon seeing Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. The play director is first setting up the scene and explaining to Gopkumar the story of the background.
I'm the stage manager. So, imagine this. Krishna is very eager for the company of each and every one of us. The Brihad Bhagavatamrita describes this in the instance when Lord Narayana welcomes you, Gopa Kumar, after a long journey to the Lord's divine abode. Narayan says, I looked down the path observing whether or not you were coming. A long time passed and I saw you didn't even show interest in chanting the holy names. There was not a single sign that you would ever look in my direction and want to come to me. So, finally, I did something. I couldn't break my timeless laws of not interfering with the spiritual progress and desires of anyone, but I sent a great soul. I actually became your spiritual master. And then you took the mantra and started your journey. Now, I'm very happy. You have come. You have come. Please stay here with me.
As far as I know, what happened then is that I stayed for some time. But the yearning of my heart was not fully satisfied in Vaikuntha or Lord Narayan's abode. I wanted to go to Bhage, where playful Krishna engages in sublime relationships of love with his many devotees.
Yes, then, after visiting other places, at some point, you reach Vrindavan. The book describes your first meeting with Krishna. In the distance, you see Krishna coming with cows. You hear the happy laughter and flutes of Krishna's many friends. Krishna is surrounded by a cloud of dust raised by the cow hooves, and some powerful demigods dive down to catch the dust that has touched Krishna's lotus feet. Suddenly, Krishna becomes aware of your approaching from the distance. As soon as he sees you, Krishna breaks free from the cows and cowherd boys and runs toward you. Finally, he can embrace you and overcome with feelings of excitement and love. He falls to the ground and muddies it with his tears of ecstasy caused by the arrival of his dear friend.
Okay, let me try this on the stage. Then from a distance I saw him, his charming flute in hand, running quickly. He emerged from among his friends and animals and approached me, saying in a sweet voice, "Look, Sridham, here's my dear friend Sarup, who used to be known as Gopkumar."
Because Krishna recognized Gopakumar as his friend Sarupa, Krishna left behind the cowherd boys and the cows and ran forward to greet him. Imagine, he was dressed for the forest. His garments, earrings, and peacock feather crown all swayed to and fro, and so did his garland of kadamba flowers. His fragrance perfumed all directions, and his beautiful lotus face blossomed with a playful smile.
I imagine how the effulgence of his cloud-colored body, shining with the full sweetness of youth, lit up all corners of the sky. His beauty, which captured the hearts of ever-dear devotees of Raja, was an ocean abounding with countless excellencies.
Unable to express much more about the beauty of Krishna's body, which glowed like a new rain cloud, you sum up Krishna's beauty by describing it as an ocean of excellences. As an ocean is constant and unfathomably deep, so are all of Krishna's personal qualities. In Goloka, Krishna's beloved devotees know the value of his beauty and other virtues because the hearts of those devotees are completely attracted to him as his heart is to them.
He leapt forward and came close to me. compelled by the affection of his helpless devotee. I fainted in love at seeing him. He caught hold of me by the neck, and suddenly he too fell to the ground.
Remember, while playing this, you were already aware, at least theoretically, that Krishna is very affectionate to his helpless devotee. But now you learned that Krishna had affection specifically for you. Merely seeing Krishna was enough to utterly enchant you, but this new discovery pushed you toward the limit of ecstasy.
Very helpful, thank you. A moment later, I re-awoke and carefully freed my neck from his grasp. I stood up and saw him on the ground in a faint, moistening the dust-covered path with his tears.
This is the most dramatic part of the scene. Even though Krishna was unconscious, he was crying so profusely that his tears were turning the dust on the road into mud. Many residents of Gokul came and started to shout confusing words, trying to make sense of what was the scene. The gopis cried loudly in distress as they surrounded Krishna. Several groups of cowherds cried with pitiful voices. The animals, all crying out in love, their faces drenched with floods of tears, approached Krishna one by one and gently smelled and licked him again and again. What was happening is that all beings, moving and non-moving, were on the verge of death.
Oh, yes. And as for me, I was drowning in a vast ocean of sorrow. Confused about what to do, severely tormented, I put Krishna's feet on my head and began profusely sobbing and lamenting. How is it that here Lord Balabhadra, Krishna's older brother, quickly arrived from some distance away, full of fear?
This is what happened. Unable to keep up with Krishna when Krishna had run to meet you, Balaram had fallen behind with the other cowherd boys. But now he anxiously hurried forward, concerned for Krishna's safety. You saw that Balaram was of the same Kishore age as Nandanandana, but differed from him in being white, like the fibers in the lotus stem, and being dressed in blue. At first, Balaram cried in distress to see Krishna in such a condition, but he quickly gathered his wits and looked all around to find out what had made Krishna faint.
Lord Balabhadra, that most skillful of persons, cried for a moment, but then seemed to regain his composure and looked all around. With great care and attention, he made me hold his younger brother by the neck with my arms. He wiped Krishna's beautiful limbs clean with my hand and made me loudly call out to him with many plaintive cries. Then he made me lift Krishna up from the ground. Suddenly, Krishna opened his eyes, sealed till then by a flood of tears. Seeing me, he joyfully embraced and kissed me, but then he looked around and became embarrassed.
Krishna had become helplessly bewildered by love for his devotee, and he was embarrassed by the thought that from his tearful reaction to my arrival, everyone could see this.
The best of lords took my hand in his own left lotus hand, and received me as a long-lost bosom friend. He asked me various questions. Then he greeted all the people of Raj and entered the best of cowherd villages with the gait of an elephant.
Krishna's closest friends are as dear to him as life itself. Holding your hand, Krishna welcomed you with such questions as, "Dear friend, are you healthy? And are you happy?" This expression of overwhelmed joy is a sign of Krishna's character. It shows that he cares very much for everyone and is most happy about the tiniest sign of spiritual life in someone. And when a soul becomes mature and ready for meeting, Krishna is full of joy. It is described that the first meetings with Krishna or experiences of him are very brief, feeling like a dream. The devotee doesn't know, was it a dream? This was better than anything I have ever seen or experienced so far. Then the meetings and experiences become longer, and words and embraces are exchanged. And then the soul finally enters into the eternal pastimes. Shri Rudra Kirtana ki
Thank you so much. Thank you. So this was narration from actually Sanatana Goswami from Brihad Bhagavatamrita and combined with Sacinandana Swami's reflections. So we are just on the verge of the last island of Navadvipa, which is called Antardvip, and it's connected to Atmani Vedanam. So for that purpose, we asked His Grace Madhavananda Prabhu to guide us into meditation on this island.
Harmonium works? It's great to ask such a question. So I'd like to ask everybody again, like we did this morning, to come and sit on my lap. Really close. Because we want to speak about Antardvip. Anta means inside. It means something very hidden. So in Sanskrit it's the Upanishad. Come close and sit down. I don't have it drawn for you. But there's an art form which is storytelling. I'd like to share some things with you in my own little way. Because originally Udilo Chandra said, so you should be Antardvip, an island Antardvip. As some of you may know, there's a poet named Jandelsbrunn in the 1500s. He wrote a poem. If you come close, you'll be able to hear it. He wrote a poem which he said, no man is an island. So, taking shelter of that idea. This is a story about Lord Brahma. And it's a very relevant story for all of us. Because when we share stories, it should be relevant. It's not just some theoretical thing. But what does it have to do with me? So Antardvip means something very hidden. And it has to do with Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is a great devotee, but he sort of made a big mistake. Right? He sort of kidnapped all of Krishna's friends and cows and took them away, and it was really bad. And he realized what a mistake he'd made. And he came back to Krishna, and Krishna said, no problem, you're the temple president. You're in charge of the universe, you're in charge of everything. So I forgive you. But we understand, Antardvip, that there's an island in our heart, something very private. And Lord Brahma wasn't happy with that. In the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, when Narad Muni begins to glorify him, you are the greatest devotee. Lord Brahma replies to him, Tam mayayaiva satatam. I'm always in Maya. Jagatau ham guru prabhu. I have this problem. I think I'm the guru of the universe. I think I'm the supreme prabhu. Pitamahas, I'm the grandfather. Krishna Shanabi Padma Samudbhava. I took birth from the navel of Krishna. Tapasya Radhikas, I'm a great tapasvi. I'm doing so many things. And he says, in this way, I'm always in Maya. And he came into Navadvipa, desiring Antardvipa, something, an island inside the heart. He wasn't satisfied with Krishna's forgiving him, but he wanted something more. And he came and he began to pray and cry out. And Bhaktivinoda Thakura describes. Jeshamoy mama lila prakata hoibe Javanera grihe tume janamala Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Jeshamoy mama lila prakata hoibe. At that time, when I manifest my pastimes, Javanera grihe tumi janama laibe. He said, don't worry, because Lord Brahma, he prayed to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu said, so what do you want? And Lord Brahma said, I have this problem. I'm a big, big person. I don't want to be a big person. I want antar. I want something internal. And so then Mahaprabhu gave him this benediction, Jeshamoy mama lila prakata hoibe, that when I manifest my pastimes, Javanera grihe tumi janamadavi, you'll take birth as a Yavana Malecha, and the most fallen birth, the most fallen family. And you'll always think of yourself as being very, very fallen, and your name will be Haridas. And every day you'll chant 300,000 names of Krishna. And Mahaprabhu told him, oh hey Brahma Sunamora Antarera Kata Vyakta-kabu Nakoi Ibe Shastre Japta-kata Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, oh hey Brahma Sunamora, listen Brahma, listen to me. Antarera Kata. I want to tell you something very private. This is a topic of Antardvipa. It's a topic of full surrender because we can do so many things externally. We can even go right up to the point of being Lord Brahma. Very important person. But there's something missing. Antardvipa. So Antarera Kata, let me tell you this very secret thing. Vyakta-kabu nakoribe shastri jata-kata. Don't speak about this. Even Shastra won't speak about this. Bhakta bhava loiyā bhakti rasa asvadiva. I'll take the birth as a devotee, and I'll take the taste and nectar of bhakti ras. And I'll make devotees of all the previous avatars drunk with the ecstasy of the nectar of Vrindavan, the love of Srimati Radharani. And I'll take the form, the position of Srimati Radharani and taste her happiness. So Lord Brahma took birth as Haridas Thakur. But the story doesn't end there. It also continues in Jagannath Puri. I find a little... The Vaishnavas at Haridas Thakur's place of bhajan in Jagannath Puri at Siddhabakul, they composed years and years ago a pranam mantra to Haridas Thakur. Chatur Mukha Jagat Karta Chatur Veda Parayanaha Haridasa Kalo Jata Pramanam Tvam Namamyaham. I offer my obeisances to Lord Brahma, who is a four-headed creator of the material universe, the knower of the four Vedas, and who took birth as Haridas Thakur in Kali Yuga. What's beautiful to me about the ending of this story is that in Jagannath Puri, they wouldn't let him inside. That's interesting. We can relate to that. But what's so profound about it is he installed the deities there. It was Lord Brahma in Sector Yuga who installed the deities of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. And when that same Lord Brahma came again in Kali Yuga, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, hey! Pravesh nishedh. Entrance forbidden, not allowed inside. And Haridas Thakur, he could have gone and said, hey, don't you know who I am? I am Lord Brahma, I installed the deities here. Not only that, but I'm known as the most intimate associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He could have said all that, but he didn't. And because of that, he's the perfect example of taking shelter of the holy name. And Haridas Thakur, in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Harinam Chintamani, he gives a very beautiful prayer. Adita Adama Tumi, Adama Tarana, Ubaye Sambhanga Patita Pavana. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. He says, this is who I am. He doesn't say I'm Lord Brahma. He says, Amita Adama. I'm fallen. And I know who you are. To me, in a very intimate way, you're very close to me. To me, Adama Tarana. You're the deliverer of the fallen. Ubaye Sambhande. This is my connection with you. That I'm fallen. And you're the deliverer of the fallen. Patita Pavan. Patit Pavan. So this is Antardvip. And this is the life of a devotee. Antardvip is the center of the 9 islands of Navadvipa. And it represents full surrender. But that full surrender is not something that we want to advertise. I want to finish with a poem in English, so please listen carefully. Love's candle burns bright in lovers' hearts, to set aglow those chambers' darkest parts. If one should bring it out the verbal door, pride's wind blows, and it glows no more. So this is Antardvip. Thank you all very much.
Jai Antardvip Maya Pursim Antardvip Godrumadvip Madhvip Kolanidvip Udito-janadvip Modadrumadvip Rudradvip Atmaka Sri Navadvip Dhamma Ki.
Where's Mangala?
I'm stunned. Like all of us. Stunned.
Something to eat now?
Yes, I think so.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Almost. Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm just wondering if Sri Paramahamsa Gora Prabhu could come or not. For a second, Amrita Lahari, do you know? Is Paramahamsa Gora?
Yeah, everything is ready since a long time.
But could he come for a minute?
Could he come? Of course.
Oh, sorry. So, we have a special announcement regarding prasadam. There was a long meditation by a few devotees, so we would like...
Decided not to have it today?
That was a surprise, Prabhu. No, you spoiled the surprise.
The wealth of
I can announce what will happen later, just to fill in the gaps. So perhaps, because we planned Guru Maharaj to sign the books at this time, but I think we will need a break. So maybe 3:30, if Guru Maharaj, if you would want to sign the books for devotees. There will be a book table out here. I think still Tia is here, yes, and Tia will be there with some devotees, so you can come, purchase the books, and Guru Maharaj will kindly sign them. And the afternoon, we have something so exciting, it's still a surprise, even for me. Adara Chandika is preparing a interactive picnic experience, so please don't miss it. We will start at 4 o'clock to give some space in between, so we will meet here in the big meadow at 4 o'clock. And then in the evening, every Saturday, there's a big home jāge here for Lord Nrsimhadev. So everybody's welcome after the picnic. I think it starts at 7-ish. And we'll have Kirtana. And then tomorrow is a big day of one of the biggest initiation ceremony, probably the biggest in our family. Guru Maharaj will kindly give initiation to 17 devotees, if I'm not mistaken. So please don't miss this historical event. It's gonna be here in Simhachalam Dam at 7:45. So there is a special announcement. We would like Shri Paramhamsa Gaura Prabhu to tell us the whole meditation that happened in the kitchen for the last few days, I'm sure, for the feast that's coming up.
Hare Krishna. So following with the theme of the retreat with Navadvipa being the main focus, I was asked to do a Bengali feast. So growing up there, I tried my best. We will have 5 main sabjis today. 2 sweets, chutney, pakora, rice, lassi. I think I'm forgetting some few things, but I will put them in order in the way they're generally served. Yes, Prabhu.
Maharaj this morning spoke about imagination. This is not one of those things.
I mean, you can imagine it was way better. I hope you will.
It's for real.
I will put it on the tables according to the way it's generally served in Bengal and in many areas of India. The menus are made according to the best way they're tasted and the best way they're digested as well. The tongue tastes one at a time. So after bitter, the pungent tastes better. After pungent, the rich tastes better. After rich, the sweet tastes better. After the sweet, and like that, everything is in order. And so we don't just make a big khichdi out of our plates. We eat one by one. Of course you can. Prabhupada said prasadam anyway. So today the first dish will be shukta, which is of course probably the most famous.
Wait, do we need to write this down?
No, it'll be there. It'll be there.
Everyone take your notebooks.
Oh, you have it in the group.
Yes. So it'll be shukta. Shukta is of course a bitter preparation, but you'll see it's not that bitter. It's very sweet and tasty. It's also one of the preparations that we suck, because inside you'll find data. Data is drumsticks or moringa. And those things we suck. So there's the 5 flavors and there's the 4 types of prasadam. So today you'll have all 5 flavors and all 4 types of prasadam as well. So it will go from bitter, then pungent, then rich, right? Then we have the fried pakoras that goes with the dal and the chutney. That's sweet and sour, of course. Then you have at the end the sweet, and the stringent will be the chutney as well. Yeah. So please, when you're having prasadam, meditate on Navadvipa Dham. Meditate on the millions of times it's described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu eating in this house and that house, eating with this devotee and that devotee. And they used to have 100 preparations, so today we just have a few. But please, I hope you will be transported to those wonderful pastimes and have a small taste of what Mayapur Dham and what Navadvipa is all about.
Thank you.
And you will get a small taste of what jewel we got here in our community. We're so grateful that we have him here. And he brings so much life and spirit and culture to us because he is born and raised in Navadvipa. He's actually Dambasi, coming to us and teaching us some important aspects of Vaishnava behavior and culture. And please bless us that we can keep him here. No. Yeah, we're very fortunate, and now you can taste what we taste almost every day now. What the Lord Nrsimhadev.
He's being very kind. It's not like that.
It is like that. Hare Krishna. Mangala, what we do now?
Ramananda brother, can we announce something also?
Oh, dear Lalita want to
Yes,
announce something.
yes.
Come here.
This is not starting.
Can somebody lift her up?
Sorry, I forgot the doll.
Our dear devotees, those who are getting initiated tomorrow, there are 17 initiations, and I would request, I'm not really that potent in order to make all these garlands, so please do help me out today if you can, from 2:30 to 4 o'clock, because at 4 o'clock your picnic starts. I'll stay back and I'll finish them, but I do need help. Yes, please do come in the temple room. I'll bring the flowers, leaves, and whatever we can find in the farm, so that we can make garlands.
17 garlands?
No, actually, it's not. It's 20. Because we have Maharajas here and for the priest.
The priest
Yeah.
doesn't happily avoid garlands.
Oh no. You have to accept it.
No garlands for the demigods who are coming?
Oh, Prabhuji, if you let us know who they are. That's it.
Also, there is a secret box here at the reception. Please go and look at the box.
Experience.
Does something jump out?
Is it no, just you have to